Hi, welcome to this edition of Tiger Broadcast. I'm Lily Walker.
And I'm Reagan Clark. In this edition, we'll cover school anxiety, a debate over dance, and a foster care system in our community.
All this and more on this edition of Tiger Broadcast.
Life as a teenager can be stressful. In this next segment, Emma Osterly and Von Doe show us the cause of that pressure.
It's no secret that current younger generations seem to have more stress and anxiety than in years past. Many people believe the primary influence on this stress is school.
School stresses me out a lot. School's really, I feel like it puts a lot of unnecessary weight on me, and I feel like a lot of the stuff we do is busy work, and it makes me more stressed than I should be.
There's just a lot of pressure to know what you're doing and to do things well so that your future will work out and you'll have your next steps all figured out.
The National College Health Assessment reported that in 2016, nearly 2/3 of college students reported overwhelming anxiety, up from 50% just 5 years earlier. Multiple factors play into this increase, a major factor being the workload put on students.
And I think what happens is there are so many expectations on students, not only to get good grades, to be prepared for college, to be involved in activities, to have a part-time job, that a lot of times I think they are truly just overworked, overscheduled. And finding a balance in life is really important.
Trying to achieve this balance can be challenging. Luckily, there is a class that is giving students an opportunity to get things done.
I think really the biggest thing with Learning Lab is giving you that extra hour in the day to, hey, say, you know, I've got all this stuff, I'm going to knock it out in this hour, I'm going to get as much done as I can. That way when I get home, I won't have to worry about it. It's just something that I don't have to be thinking about during practice because I know I did it in Learning Lab.
This is actually my 4th semester having a Learning Lab, and I've found them really beneficial. I like it, just to have extra time to study and do my homework, and also it's a good time if I ever miss a day to make up tests, quizzes, and all that stuff.
Though school can be stressful, there are resources like Learning Lab there to help students find that balance. Signing out for Tiger Broadcast, this is Emma Osterly. It seems like everyone's trying to be healthy these days, but is high school really helping with that problem? Find out in this segment with reporter Lena Wynn and photographer Carly Roberts.
And it has changed quite a bit as the USDA started putting more restrictions and just the whole general thing for better nutrition and better health. We've seen a lot of favorites change. Some of them, the vendors, replaced them with stuff that was just as good or better.
It's been a little over 10 years since the change in school lunch health requirements, including low-fat options, reduced sugar items, and low-calorie beverages. Some students are wondering if the new system is actually helping them.
If you make the right choices, then it can benefit you because they offer a lot of I would say, they offer fruits and vegetables, obviously. They offer water, and they offer sandwiches, but then they also offer a lot of bad things too. So it's about the individual making the choice. I believe that partially school lunch is healthy depending on what you actually choose to eat. I mean, they offer pizza, chicken nuggets, chicken strips, french fries, a lot of bad things, but I mean, they also offer lots of good things as well, like salads I've seen.
The current administration has proposed yet more changes to the school lunch program that includes a less restrictive diet. However, LSHS is still introducing new items.
Well, one of the things that we are going to be rolling out here, hopefully by the end of the month, is on one side we are going to have a fresh salad bar that will be available to students every day to make a salad.
Students are ultimately in charge of what they choose to eat. Reporting for Tiger Broadcast, I'm Lena Nguyen.
Dancers put in hard work, practice, and passion into what they do. However, some question if dance can be considered a sport. Olivia McKee at Amaya House spins us on our next story.
It may be the start of the new year, but the same controversy over whether dance is a sport still remains.
Dance, it doesn't use any object that you can't control. So football, basketball, tennis, you have to use a type of ball that you cannot control. You have to use more effort and more thinking to control it.
I think widely people don't think dance is a sport because there is no ball. Competitive dance, you are competing against other age groups. You're being scored, you're being ranked. To me, it's the same.
In numerous sports, a ball is an important factor of the game, but when it comes to dance, other factors are taken into consideration.
Cardio training that it requires in order to perform, the buildup of muscles that it takes in order to be a dancer.
Although some individuals see this sport as a piece of cake.
I don't think it's harder than football practices. Football practices, we run and run and run, but dancing, I don't think it's you need that much stuff to do just to compete.
I think if people saw an advanced level rehearsal, that even athletes would find it extremely difficult and wouldn't be able to keep up.
To test this theory, we invited Felix to one of the Tigerettes practices to see if his opinion would change afterward and see if his physical ability would be able to keep up with the rest of the team.
I think they're really underappreciated because as we see when we're watching them dancing, it does not look as hard as what they're actually doing in practices. Because when I went to the practices, it was really hard. I cannot, half of the stuff they're doing, I got so tired of it and I could not do it. Honestly, what they're doing out there is honestly really hard.
At the end of the day, the physical activity and effort of dancing can be put into perspective as equal to other sports. Signing out for Tiger Broadcast, I'm Amaya House.
Some kids are less fortunate than others, but one adoption and foster center in our community is aiming to help those who need it most. Michaela Humble with photographer Lily Walker shows us how.
Foster care is something that many are not aware of, but that doesn't mean it's not real. One foster care system with many locations throughout Missouri and Kansas have a mission to keep kids safe at home.
So Cornerstones of Care is a behavioral health care nonprofit dedicated to keeping children safe and families together in Kansas, Missouri, and beyond. So we work with a lot of children and families who have experienced some kind of trauma or crisis that have, kind of resulted in some unsafe behaviors, and so we try to get them back safe and healthy so they can be successful at home and at work and at school.
Foster care is intended to be a temporary solution for a child who can no longer remain safely in their home, typically due to abuse and neglect.
And a lot of times that, that neglect comes from the opioid crisis. So parents who are maybe struggling with addiction and aren't able to provide the care that they need, that their child needs.
For the children that don't get to go back home, there is an option.
Typically, a child in foster care who is eligible for adoption is about 9 years old, and it can be anywhere from, a couple of years to even more before the whole adoption process can take place. So a lot of times kiddos aren't even, they're 11 or 12 years old even before they are with their forever family.
Cornerstones of Care is always the need for families that are willing to open up their homes and their hearts for children in need.
They can always go to cornerstonesofcare.org/donate to make a donation to help keep kids safe and together. And then we have a lot of volunteer and mentoring opportunities as well if anybody wants to partner with us in that.
Not everyone can take in children, but a donation can go a long way. Signing out for Tiger Broadcast.
More than likely there are kids in your class.
This is Michaela Humble.
Thank you for watching this edition of Tiger Broadcast.
For sports, packages, and more, go to www.tigerbroadcast.com.
Or follow us on Twitter at TVTV8Tigers. I'm Lily Walker.
And I'm Reagan Clark. See you next time.
The practices is really hard. I cannot.
Changed quite a bit as the USDA started.
Finding a balance in life is really important.
They can always go to cornerstonesofcare.org/donate